This is the Star News Brief. I'm Susan Kiprono. No part of Kenya is beyond our reach. This is the declaration of Deputy President William Ruto's 2022 strategy team that's decided that no part of Kenya is anyone's stronghold. According to insiders, Ruto's team is venturing into areas not considered to be his stronghold with the aim of selling his candidacy. The Star has established that Ruto has moved to expand his team to include people who have worked with his main opponents until recently. In particular, the team is seeking to expand his inroads in Western Kenya and Nyanza that have been Raila Odinga's strongholds. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing star 550 star 3#. President Uhuru Kenyatta appeared to be sending a warning shot to politicians creating chaos in the country on Wednesday. This came in the form of a statement issued by Head of Public Service Joseph Kenywa on behalf of the National Security Advisory Council outside the office of the President. NSAC warned politicians, the media and social media users of repercussions if found to have been spreading hatred. In a move seen to be targeted at DP William Ruto, they said that all political meetings must be registered with the nearest police station 3 days before they happen.
Or that all media outlets shall be held responsible for all the content that they publish, add or broadcast pursuant to the section 62 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act. That all social media users shall be held individually liable for all content on their social media profile, or any person intending to hold a public meeting or a public procession shall notify the officer commanding station, OCS, that is OCS, of such intent at least 3 days, but not more than 14 days before the proposed date of the public meeting.
Jubilee and ODM were unable to account for 77 million and 23 million shillings respectively, which was to go towards special interest groups for the 2017-2018 financial year. A report by the Centre for Multi-Party Democracy indicates that the financial audit reports of the two parties couldn't determine if the money went to the groups. The Political Parties Act requires that political parties receiving public funding should utilize 15% on the youth, women and people living with disability and other minorities as well as marginalized groups. The police may soon get clearance to spy on your telephone communications on any slight suspicion that you're dealing in drugs or linked to drug dealers. A proposed law seeks to further provide room for the police to enter into your premises and install devices that can tap calls. For purposes of obtaining evidence, a court may allow a police officer above the rank of chief inspector to execute such an operation. Police, however, will be required to apply for written consent of the Director of Public Prosecutions before moving to court. To guard against abuse, police officers who obtain information illegally would be jailed 10 years or fined 10 million shillings or both. A multi-agency team auditing the settlements outside the Mao forest has received one of the oddest explanations yet on loss of title deeds. David Cheruiyot told the team that a mischievous monkey burnt his land ownership documents. He said he didn't see the need to close the house with a lock as the area didn't have security problems. After getting water, he returned only to find the monkey had eaten flour and other food. The land documents had gone up in smoke after the monkey set them on fire, Cheruiyot said. He said he wasn't to blame for the loss of the documents. The monkey made the mess. And finally, global extreme poverty is expected to rise in 2020 for the first time in over 20 years, global lender World Bank has warned. It said the COVID-19 pandemic would compound the forces of conflict and climate change, which were already slowing poverty reduction progress. The pandemic is estimated to push an additional 88 million to 115 million people into extreme poverty this year, with a total hitting as many as 150 million by 2021, depending on the severity of the economic contraction. Extreme poverty, defined as living on less than $1.90 a day, is likely to affect between 9.1% and 9.4% of the world's population in 2020, according to the Biannual Poverty and Shared Prosperity Report. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing star 550 star 3#. You can also get more on the Star website.